Hello.
Hey, hey. Let's see if I can move this thing out of the way somewhere. There we go. Whew. The week is over. Yay. Come on. Come on. I don't have it.
I'm still getting this thing shared out. Computer's lagging here a little bit.
Yeah, I think it is here too. What are you doing, Nate?
Okay. I actually remembered to turn my microphone on this time. Uh, Sending out to a bunch of chats that nobody seems to check anymore. It seems like group chats are losing their thing these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of people mute them and then, they get others on top of it and never see them.
They say I blame them.
Oh, yeah. If you're working, you can't have the group chats going 90 to nothing.
Yeah. Well, for me, I usually have my phone volume all the way down.
See if I can get this to do what it's supposed to. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, Ed is here, and so is Gherkin King.
That's Zach.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even see his.
Yeah, I was going to say that that is not a name I'm familiar with.
Uh,
And
Nick Boo B Man. What?
Nick will not be on. He is sick. He lost his voice,
Oh, Denise, Joanne.
then it came back, then he lost it again.
It sounds like he got sick again.
I think that's what he said. Uh,
I'm not going to jinx myself because this year, and I don't know where I'd go to get anything because all I do is go to the grocery store. I don't work out of the house. I don't, unless the dogs at the pound are going to give it to me. Oh, Booby.
oh,
I think there's two. It's boobies.
yeah. So,
Normally there's two. Do you need a refresher?
huh?
I was asking him if he needs a refresher.
Oh, Zach?
Yeah, he said booby. I think there's two. I think they come in a set usually.
Usually, yes. Unless you're from Mars and you got that third one.
True.
Okay, so he said at 1:44, I'm starting to feel really sick again. Messed up my voice. Is all cracked up. So yeah. Sounds like his mother's getting it. His dad wasn't feeling so good a couple days ago. So yeah, looks like the whole family's got it. So hello everybody, Joanne, Denise, glad to have you here. Um, Denise, how much snow did you guys get down there? Because we got a lot up here, but it was worse in the south. So I'm curious as to how much Denise got.
I
Because
think she said something about being snowed in at one point. I think. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because she said that's how DV happens, and then put a disclaimer on there because somebody's going to take something way out there, some pansies or whatever.
no, it
She
got flooded really bad a couple years ago. Because I remember watching the lives that Ernie was doing a lot. Because
Oh, yeah.
almost a foot of snow here.
I'm almost embarrassed to say I live in Colorado because we might have had. What is that reverb?
I don't know.
I still hear it, don't you?
I heard something, but it sounded like maybe one of the dogs was moving around.
I heard like chatter, like almost an echo for a long time. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe I've been on the
I
phones
don't
too much.
know. I don't have anything else on. I was able to get all my share things done before the intro video was done.
Oh, they got a lot of snow, but it keeps getting packed down with ice. Oh, that's
That's that
dangerous.
is dangerous. Oh, she says Tennessee got it worse.
My kid's
It
backyard was hit.
seems like the further south you go, the worse it was. You were telling me just a few minutes earlier that people froze to death in Louisiana.
Yeah, I saw something on the news that said that people froze from hypothermia. Well, died from hypothermia, which yeah, froze. In Louisiana. I want to say it was. They named the city, and I cannot remember.
Did you see that?
It might be Denise. It might be when you got in here.
But no. For a second there, all the comments disappeared. It only showed the people's names.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, Denise. Call them back. Summon your demons back.
Wow. Joanne, how is everything up north?
She sent me a pretty picture. It's pretty. I just wouldn't want to. No, I'm not into that kind of cold.
I've always wanted to go to Calgary.
No, you shouldn't leave. Just summon them back.
No, Denise, you're fine. Yeah, so we had a hell of a snowstorm over the weekend. All of the schools around this area has either been closed or 2 hour delay every day since then. Um,
Guys.
the streets are cleared, or they were. It was snowing just an hour ago, but I don't think we were supposed to get any accumulation. It is snow an hour ago. I don't think it lasted long. No, Keith, it actually disappeared on on this side of things. You wouldn't notice it on your end. Um, we're supposed to be getting snow on Saturday. Let me see. Check my weather thing.
All right, everybody go before y'all get in a fight. Go.
Okay, no, we're supposed to get snow for about 4 hours tomorrow, and then snow basically all day on Monday.
Okay, so what it said was January 25th, they reported 2 men died in Caddo Parish due to hypothermia. This brings the total number of deaths in Louisiana due to the cold to 9.
Wow.
I mean, you just don't picture Louisiana with hypothermia.
No, unless it was like in the what parish did you say it was in?
Caddo,
Like CATO.
no, I think it's CADD. Let me. CADDO.
Okay.
It
Oh,
was
that.
hypothermia due to power outages. I was thinking, maybe a homeless person or something, but no.
Oh, that's the most northern part of Louisiana. That's where Shreveport is at.
It is so scary because, I mean, in places like that, even Texas, fireplaces are not normal because you normally don't need them. Like in the mountains, they're normal. In Kentucky, they're normal.
I remember it wasn't that long ago, somewhere, Dallas maybe, it had that 100 car pileup on the highway.
There was one in Chicago
Oh, I
when
had,
Jan and I were driving.
oh, that one.
Yeah, we weren't. That's why we didn't stop and see Nick on the way.
Yeah, I remember that one. You had a lot of interesting things happening on that trip.
Anytime her and I get in a car together, interesting things happen.
Yeah, that is true. Let's see. There was another time that you two got chased by a tornado.
And the only husband that would help was our work husband, you.
No.
Well, no, Jesse did. Jesse did. Our legal husbands at the time said, "You got this."
I was home. I think I was in recovery at that time, or was this before I got hurt? I don't remember.
Before you got hurt.
Oh, okay.
You got hurt after I moved here. I had only been here just not long.
Well, because we were in Kansas in September, and that was when you brought Zach up,
Hmm.
and it was that December that I got hurt.
Right. I moved here in November
Okay.
of 21.
Okay. Wow.
And I got this job I'm at now, December 6th of 21.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I remember exactly where I was sitting when I found out. I knew exactly where I was.
Uh, um, speaking of that, so yesterday I had something of a bad experience involving that. My lawyer was sending me a document to go over to make sure that everything he was writing out was accurate.
Hmm.
And he had warned me that there were pictures in there.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, I thought after 4 years I'd be okay. Turned out I wasn't. Soon as I saw it, I stared at it for like 10 seconds, and nope, I gotta get rid of it. So I emailed him back. I was like, "Hey, can you remove these pictures? I can't do this." And he did.
Hmm.
Then I was able to go through everything and write out all the stuff that needed to be corrected, and because
Yeah,
I
not.
seen a similar picture. It wasn't the same picture that I saw about a year after it happened,
Hmm.
um, but I had seen a similar picture. I thought, okay, you know what? It had been 3 years.
Hmm.
I thought maybe I might be okay. No,
No.
no.
Zach can't drive by where he had his accident and be okay.
Really?
And it's been 10 years? 12 years.
Wow.
Yep. Just driving by there.
I have driven by my work a couple of times in the last 4 years. I feel nothing for them.
Yeah, no. No, but, when we drive by there, he can see the ditch he was laying in.
Hmm.
Hey, Braxton, I was just talking about Louisiana. Caddo Parish?
Yeah. So if you don't know this, parish is county.
Counties. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way when I was there.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either when I was going through Louisiana earlier. No, last year now. Damn. I'm so used to saying earlier this year. No, it's been almost a year ago now. I kept seeing signs just saying such and such parish, such and such parish. And why are all these parishes?
Yep.
Because before, when I heard something parish, I was thinking parish as in like plantation.
Oh,
because there were so many this and that plantations down there in Louisiana. I thought Paris was the same thing.
Oh, such beautiful plantations there.
Yeah, I know.
Beautiful old history. I guess I was mostly near um, New Orleans and the surrounding um, the bridge, and the most interesting thing there is where freshwater meets saltwater, and I don't
Oh,
know if it was because of
and they don't mix.
they don't, and I don't know if it was because the hurricane had happened within 5 years, but I was walking the ocean there next to where they meet. I was walking in the ocean. You can walk out there a mile and you're not even to your knees. It's just so shallow. I don't know where it drops off, but I wasn't walking any further to find out. But
Yeah,
I look
I
over.
can find that out.
Oh, I look over and there's an alligator. Not in the salt water, in the fresh water.
So as long as you stayed in the salt water, you were fine.
I couldn't even guarantee that. When I saw that, bye. My feet were out of the water. I was gone.
Braxton, since you lived there next to Caddo, how cold did it get? Because there were stories about people freezing to death.
9. The death toll was 9 last I saw,
Yeah,
from power outages and hypothermia.
yeah. Okay, so maybe not necessarily freezing to death, but definitely the hypothermia. That's
Well, in power outages, I'm assuming unless you were like on a breathing machine or oxygen and that went out, it would be hypothermia because of the power outage. I Braxton, correct me if I'm wrong, but fireplaces are not normal there, right? It's not like a thing in every house.
in Louisiana.
Ugly history. Yeah, absolutely ugly history.
When I lived in Phoenix, we had a fireplace in our house.
Really.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not like
I
any
I
house we went
remember
in didn't have
actually
them.
using it. We actually used it. That one winter that we stayed there, the logs that we had, they weren't the regular logs. Was actual wood. It was like fake wood that was wrapped up in different colored wrapping. Like we had a red one and a green one, and I want to say a blue one. There were three colors. I remember that.
It's not a fireplace.
It was because whatever it was, we burned it.
Why would I
I
don't understand that.
I don't know. I'm hoping somebody in the audience knows what I'm talking about, but it
Let us
wasn't.
know, because if not, you're crazy.
It, my dad's the one that did it.
Well, then we'll have to have a discussion with him because nope. And when I lived in Kentucky, every house I had one of them actually had coal fireplace, which is only like 6 inches deep and about 3 inches. Well, no, 12 inches wide.
That's tiny.
Oh, very tiny. And it burned coal. Of course, it was no longer working. It was nothing like that, but we had an actual fireplace. We're sitting in front of our wood burning stove in the dining room. These old houses are chilly. Yeah, yeah.
I believe that. I believe that. Back then, they would not have had the kind of tools that we use to be able to insulate our houses.
Stop, it's frozen. Yeah, the house that I lived in Kentucky was a little town called Mount Eden. I don't know, population 300. Um, but the house was over 150 years old when I rented it out, and it was in a valley, so it had flooded many times, and that's why they rented it out so cheap. But it was made to last. I'm telling you, with the wood, the longer the wood sits, the harder it gets. It's like concrete. But we
Not with the wood in my yard. I don't know what kind it was, but there were like stumps
Mhm.
in the ground, and I I actually advertise for them for anybody that wants these things for burning. Come and get them.
Uh-huh.
Good thing nobody did come and get them because think about a year or so later, I went out there to try to move them myself and they fell apart.
Mm. Probably
It,
termites.
I don't know.
Were they like cork? They feel like cork?
Probably.
That's termites.
Wow, it was unbelievable. I went out there with a shovel. I was getting ready to tip the one to stand it up so that I could get a dolly underneath it,
Hmm.
and it just
Yeah, this house we actually put a potbelly stove in it. And ran the pipe through where the old like charcoal fireplaces were, coal fireplaces, and it would go out. And those stone houses are no joke. Those old houses are no joke. They get cold, but they're cool in the summer because they were all rock. It was pretty cool. I don't know that I would go back there now because I had to go out and chop wood in the snow and all kinds of strange things because I was scared of a chainsaw. But yeah, no, I would never trade that experience for anything in the world. My kids loved it, but I'm too old for that shit.
in my backyard. Yeah, I've got a second lot behind my yard. When I bought the house, I ended up buying both lots together, in
Uh,
because they came together. Um, and then a couple years later, the city merged the two into one big lot.
mhm.
Uh, I knew I had one tree down back there because it's so easy to see it's leaning against another. And after all this snow, and you see where everything's at, and it's like, holy cow, I got about 5 trees down back there.
Yeah, there was lots of trees. Now, I did not see any exploding trees around here, but the wind, that we had before that I talked about, leveled so many trees, so many fences, everything. And now with this on top of it, nobody would get out and
We
do
we
anything.
have a lot of really strong winds. In the middle of all that snow, some people were posting around here where the snow was not melting in their hands.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
snow was not melting in their hands, and they could actually burn it with their lighter.
yeah. I did see videos of that, but I didn't know how much of it was true. I don't pay attention to shit anymore. Don't believe none of it.
I was curious. Well, somebody actually had a picture of it.
Yeah, yeah,
But okay, well, I opened up my front door and I grabbed a big thing of snow in my hand. Okay, it melted just fine.
yeah,
A couple hours later, you couldn't even tell where I had grabbed into that snow because it snowed so much and the wind just kept smoothing everything out.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Nate and I went out and did the front walk, the little handicap ramp, and then we walked around, did outside. I was bundled up like it was, we were in Antarctica. I had never worn my little beanie with the little ball on top, and the coat I have is so warm. And I got boots, and I went out there, and I could have been in shorts. The guy next door to me was in shorts, flip flops, and socks out there doing his walk.
Gee, well,
I,
there's that.
he's native.
Yeah, that's. Is it the one with the garden that I like, or the other side?
The other side, which
Okay,
now has a gorgeous yard.
really?
Oh, yeah. It's no longer a rental. Family owns it now.
Okay.
And within the first month they were here, they started building, and it is just so pretty. Now we look like the hooligans on the block.
You know, Tom is saying they didn't get much snow up there in Chicago. I can believe that because it seemed for us when the snow was coming up is that we were hitting the edge of the storm. So I thought maybe we might get lucky and not get a whole lot of snow, but it shifted upward and got us. So so many.
Name change, buddy. Braxton has snake eyes 24. Braxton, are you 24?
Yeah, I thought we established that he was fairly young.
Well, I knew he was young, but 24?
Chronicles of Narnia type wet. That's
I
basically
forget.
that's what we got up here.
I forget that he's young to begin with because he's so respectful and so smart. And then he put 24 on there. I'm like,
That,
holy shit.
that's rare for anybody under 30 these days.
30-year-olds are assholes.
Yeah, well, true, true.
There was, okay, funniest post ever. I saw it today in our group page.
He's
It
30.
said, to the woman, to the Hispanic woman who was beating her child in aisle 14 in Walmart. And I thought it was going to be some bash on something. No, it was a man. He said, I am in love with you. If you see this, contact me. Put his information out there. He said, your green eyes sparkled. I mean, it was like this whole thing. And of course, everybody, it was a joke to begin with. But everybody was like, not everybody, everybody was like, you know what? You're awesome. And, you had those Karens up there. Thank you, sweetheart. You had those Karens there that were like, oh, you condone child abuse. Nah, 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 nah. And, everybody else got in there arguing about, well, if people would discipline their children, they wouldn't be acting this way now, would they? But that was the cutest thing that I want to get a hold of that guy and tell him how funny that was.
That's it.
Oh, well, there was a lot more to the post, but the Karens were out in full force. What do you mean she was beating her child? Why are you trying to date her and then there was the people that understood the post and were like, that's awesome. I have spanked my child in aisle 14 at Walmart. Guaranteed. When they throw themselves down and start banging their head, yep, they got a spanking right there. And somebody looked at me funny. Do you want one too? Then get the hell moving. No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that quote very well. There are some people. I was actually just writing about this today.
Oh, I bet your mom was pissed.
Diana Ross.
Mm-hmm.
She was on the Dick Clark New Year's Eve special
Okay.
a couple weeks ago. She's 81 years old. That woman doesn't look like she's even 60 yet.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She's 81 years old.
Gorgeous. Yep. She's a gorgeous woman. Carries herself very well. Okay, so Braxton 32. Okay, I can deal with that. Still acts a lot older than 32, and that's great. I have no problem with that.
Um, Zach would understand this. Maybe not you, but there's a wrestler. His name is Ron Killens. He goes by R-Truth.
Okay.
The man is 54, 55 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and he wrestles and moves like he's 20.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible shape. And even when you look at his face, you don't see any wrinkles. Like, shit.
I want what he's drinking.
Exactly.
Child blood.
What?
Child blood. They eat babies to stay young.
We have a future sadist over here.
I did not hear what he said.
He's drinking child's blood. They eat babies to stay young.
Oh, he's talking about a vampire.
I don't know what he's talking about, but no.
Yeah, well, vampires stay young forever. Unless you cut off their head or drive a stake through their heart or something like that. Otherwise, they're pretty much impervious to everything.
Thank you, sweetie. Well, they can be stopped.
Yeah.
It will be stopped. So, nah, you won't stay young forever.
Zach, when are you joining us?
He's about ready to.
Okay. Yeah,
He
because
got dinner ready. He is so amazing with dinner.
then we can get into the actual topic of the show.
White people who look awesome to quotes for y'all. White is just right. Yeah. Something
we
like this.
we do have some people that look amazing in their older ages. It's really incredible. Um, and when you go back to the 70s and 80s, um, oh damn, what's that guy? Bilford Wilford. He's the guy that was doing the diabetes commercials. The actor.
Mm-hmm.
He had this certain look, and he was only in his 40s. But if he were still around today at that age, he'd be in his 60s.
You know,
But he was only in his 40s at that time.
yeah. I think it's a lot of it is the lifestyle you live, what you eat, how much processed food you're eating, because we know that crap is bad, but damn, it's good. Hey, Jill.
Uh,
Hubby
then
is amazing.
know,
He did mashed potatoes, pepper gravy, hominy, and fried chicken.
uh, did you just hear yourself?
What?
You said fried chicken.
Yes. That's exactly what it is.
I was arguing with Zach about this. Okay? Because why are you going to call it fried chicken?
Chicken fried steak.
Jill, you look like you're in your 30s. She revealed her age a couple weeks ago, and I called bullshit on that one.
She's done that before, and we all said that.
Yeah. Because I'm having a very hard time accepting that she is 4 years older than I am.
Yep. But hey, look at it this way. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It's a fucking ketchup bottle. I don't want to hear it.
I can't help it.
But it cuts with a fork easy. The thing is, if she's 4 years older than you and you're having a hard time accepting that, just think the possibilities.
Oh.
You can look awesome in 4 years.
Yeah. Tom liked it.
Tom. Hush. Do
Yeah,
not egg him on. Nope.
he's laughing at your ketchup bottle.
Nope.
I need to cut that. Save that for a blooper reel or something.
No, let me do it for real, and then you can save it for a blooper reel.
Too bad Nick wasn't on here for that one.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm gonna go back 34 minutes, maybe 35
For what?
for that. I can't even do it.
Why would you go back 34 minutes? It was seconds ago.
I'm looking at the timestamp.
Hmm.
I got to go 34 or 35 minutes into the show.
Oh. Okay, we don't need a blooper reel.
I've done it. Oh, well, not on this show. I've done it with 13th Dimension. I did a blooper reel for our season, for the season finale of that first year. Did a blooper reel because we were all having so many problems, especially with our internet connections that year.
Well, we can always do a blooper reel with, one of our co-hosts calling people names they shouldn't call them.
I think I have that cut out.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure I do.
Mm-hmm.
I also have when the tape recorder went off on him.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny. But I think I have that other clip cut out as well. I've also got the clip of Zach dancing in the background.
Why would you,
Uh,
What?
why would you cut that out? Zach is glorious.
Cut it as in cut it for a blooper.
Oh. Okay.
you got to learn the terminology, kid.
If you tell him he's glorious, I'm going to hurt you because he's going to get a big head. Stop it.
I told
With
him
me or Zach?
earlier today.
Nate. If he tells my husband he's glorious one more time and he gets a big head, he's going to end up his responsibility.
Ah, okay. Yeah, eventually I'm maybe for the 200th episode. Right now, this is episode 177, so we are not that far off. We are less than 6 months away from the 200th episode. And that's if we are able to continue every single week, because I know lately we have been taking some weeks off.
Go.
But yeah, we are not far off from 200 episodes. Can you believe that?
Yeah, yeah. Time flies when you're, well,
Having
doing
fun.
whatever the hell you want.
But just think about that. We're coming up on 4 years of doing the show.
Mhm.
We started the end of April
Yep.
of 2022.
Yep.
We're 3 months away from 4 years of a show.
And we've had so much fun doing it.
Yes,
And
we have.
so much life change and things happen.
Hmm.
And it's so cool because the audience is usually the same. So they follow everything that happens and we're real about it. I mean, we're not fake. This is the shit that happens in real life.
Yeah. And we talk about a lot of real life stuff too.
I do. I have nothing to hide. Like me for who I am or hate me for who I am. But we're going to be real about it.
Yeah.
I'm still in between. I don't know if I like you yet.
You don't know you like me yet? Oh, yeah? Well, You know that I can summon some shit in your room at night.
Already. Okay.
I didn't summon it though. Whatever happened there was on you. Yeah, so his room, like the first week he was here, his room, he heard the doorknob creak, woke up, looked at it, and it started opening. The
Which
camera glitched at the same time.
which room is that?
The middle one next to my office, the hardwood.
So the one across from the one that I usually stay in?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And that is still your crystal room, right?
No, the crystal room's the one you stay in.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, I don't have so much crystals in it because his brother's coming in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. His brother's coming. And I don't want to push that on someone else if they don't feel comfortable with that. And, they're staying here. I'm not going to hide who I am, but I'm also not going to push it on someone else. So I have moved all the crystals into my office and just made that kind of neutral.
Okay.
Just out of respect, just because, not that I give a shit if he knows who I am, but I'm not going to have him sleeping with that. Who I am than to love me for who I'm not. Yeah, exactly.
I like that quote.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you plenty to hate me for just who I am. I mean, if you want to nitpick, we got this. But I'm not going to fake anything to. Nah. I'm too old for that shit. Now, Mr. Nate may not get too much older. He keeps talking that shit.
Uh-oh. Big boy getting in trouble.
Oh, that boy's bigger than I am. But
I would never hit you back. I'd just let you spank me in the game.
because I never hit you back, I just let you spank me. No, he wouldn't hit back. He was raised better than that.
So, folks, before eventually we drag Zach into the show and talk about tonight's topic, I want to let you guys know that tomorrow night on 13th Dimension, I'm going to have Adrian on, and we are going to talk about something that embarrassed her very dearly.
Yep.
There we go. Wasn't talking about that one. So while she's handling the dogs, just a real quick backstory. Adrian was recently on an episode of Haunted Hospitals. At first, it aired somewhere else, Canada, I think. I don't really remember. Maybe somewhere in Europe. Now it's made its way to the States, and it has been uploaded on YouTube. Haunted Hospitals, and her episode. She has talked about it on this show in the past, how they manipulated her story and made it much, much worse and more than what the actual story was. So, and I actually got to watch this the other day. It took me some time to get this episode because I download this shit. And that episode was giving me a hell of a lot of problems.
Because It's not supposed to be downloaded.
I finally got it. Um, so tomorrow we are going to be devoting the entire episode of 13th Dimension of her telling the true story
Yeah.
of her experiences. And then if we have enough time after that, I will see if I can get her to talk about how they changed everything around.
I'm
Um,
gonna tell you, I've only seen it once, and I didn't even want to look at it.
oh,
I've
well,
only seen parts of it once.
I can send you the link so you can watch it. That way you can be able to talk about the differences between your story and what ended up going on there.
Yeah, I probably should be a little more prepared.
Yeah,
I saw part of it and was like, I'm done.
yeah, you're gonna need to watch it. Your part was only like 22 minutes,
Yeah, 20
so
minutes too damn long.
yeah. Well, we're all talking about our 15 minutes of fame, and here you call this to 22 minutes of shame.
Mm-hmm.
Next week I
So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So it'll be 7 p.m. Eastern. Braxton 6 o'clock for you. Jill 4 o'clock for you. You guys are definitely going to want to hear her story.
Everybody go.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it on this episode or on this show because this show, as you've seen already, bounced all over the place.
Yeah, we're more fun.
Yeah. So with 13th Dimension, I always try to keep it centralized to the topic at hand. Um, on this show, we freely go willy nilly everywhere.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, you're not the only guilty party. I'm guilty of that. Nick is guilty of that. And our blessed audience is guilty of that.
Denny, he said, yeah, it's all for the ratings.
It-
I was talking to him when it happened.
all right, Zach.
I'm way back here.
All right, Zach, you stay right here while I go get a drink.
So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's topic is about Mission for Healthy Heroes 2026. If you are unfamiliar with the term, it used to be called Veteran Suicide Awareness. Um, when we were putting that title into our subject line for the shows last year, or was it 2 years ago?
It was. I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, because
Okay,
last year it was Mission for Healthy Heroes. Last year was the first year for the name.
okay. So 2 years ago, we had Veteran Suicide Awareness in our show titles, and every platform was shutting us down because we were apparently thinking about committing suicide.
Yep.
And they were giving us links and phone numbers and everything. Hey, if you need to talk to somebody, which I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. But look at the next word, awareness.
Well, Jeremy, it is actually kind of funny because when I take and I try to go through and set up like the descriptions of my podcasts, there are a lot of times that there's certain keywords that'll go through and they'll lock your PDFs if you've got slew a slide in there. I changed the word so it doesn't ding us, but so we
Said it like 4 times.
yeah. But so we're trying to get a little more creative with it and trying to, and I've seen a lot of other shows that do words like what I just said, and my thing is you know I hate the fact that it makes us worry about being, taken off air if we say the word when we're really trying. I talked to a lady today who's going to be joining us who her brother was a cop and he ended up taking his own life.
Wow.
And she's going to come on and tell us this story, and we got to be careful how we say it, or they're going to think that we are,
Everybody get wet.
promoting it, which is just, it is ridiculous.
You know what?
We are promoting it, but we are promoting the awareness of it so that people can be able to find ways of getting help.
That's it, Jeremy. We started this show 4 years ago. This is our 4th year. We started this show because it doesn't matter what helped me. It doesn't matter what helped you. It matters what we know and can move and tell other people about to help them. And we don't want to tell people what's out there. We want to tell them about what the experiences we've had, because where I may be a kumbaya guy, you may be a guy who THC works better. Neither one of those is a bad thing as long as it's done properly.
Yeah. As long as you can find what works for you.
That's exactly it.
Go lay down.
Yeah, we cannot, and it's irresponsible for people to sit there and say, you need to try this because it worked perfect for me. We need to, and we have a bad habit of doing that. We have a bad habit of saying something, somebody says, I'm just not feeling right today. And we hear the words, oh, tell me about it. And we cheapen what other people go through. We need to make sure that we're listening. Hey, it's okay if you're not having a good day either. If you're both having a bad day, that's fine. But you really cheapen somebody's feelings if you tell them, oh, boy, let me tell you, or whatever, that makes the person go, well, shit, this person doesn't give a damn about me. And that's it. And right now, the suicide rates are I said the bad word. The rates are just terrible. Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, there goes all the channels. Click, click, click. So, but it is.
That was ridiculous last week. You should have seen it.
Yeah. Oh, I remember when we were sitting there last year or 2 years ago, and all of a sudden, we start getting all these alerts about, we've received messages about how you are not complying with standards, and it's like, well, okay.
Yeah. You've been removed, or your show, your live stream has been removed. I probably still have the email.
Probably.
I'll go back and check. I might still have the email. I don't know.
Yeah, it
And
is ridiculous. It really is. But I mean, our purpose for this is, like I said, it's to inform people. It's to allow people to tell their stories. It's to allow people to come onto the channel, come onto the show and say, hey guys, this is my situation. Does anybody have any suggestions on what we can do? We're never going to sit there and, for me, THC works great for my headaches, but I'm not going to tell you to do that. I'm going to tell you what it did for me. First off, it made me eat a lot, which, that not surprising. Everything makes me eat a lot, but I want to tell you what it did for me. I want to tell you what the downfalls were. It made me want to sleep all next day, and that was sativa. That wasn't indica. Indica probably would have killed me. So,
Indica would have been an upper.
yeah, Probably, but I mean, it's a chance for people to come on and say, look, this is what I tried and this is what worked for me, or this is what I tried and these are the effects that scared me, just to let people make educated guesses. There are so many people out there, Jeremy, that have no idea what's out there because they go to a doctor, and doctors, because of insurance companies, are sitting there. They have 5 minutes to talk to them. They write them a script and walk out. And so
Yeah.
these people are sitting there with the 15th prescription they got to take in a day. And they're like going, well, I don't want to take this, but what the hell else can I do? So it it's a sad situation, and it's a depressing situation, but we have the power within us all to tell people about situations that we've been in and change their lives. And it's easy. All we got to do is just talk.
That's the easy thing. Well, usually.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to tell people all the time that you should never shut up because you don't know, you have no idea when you're going to say something to someone that's going to change their life. It could be the person who's standing behind you in a store who doesn't know you, and they're going to hear you say something and they're like going, my God, I've heard other people say it a dozen times today and it didn't make any sense. This Yahoo says it, and now I understand what people have been trying to say. It's kind of like when people in front of you take and pull that gallon of milk out of the cart, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I came here for milk, not all the M&M bags."
Speaking of, let's take a look.
I have no M&Ms.
M&M's are sounding pretty good right now.
Oh, M&Ms are great hair ties. You saw Goody and you were thinking I got like a little bag of chocolates, huh?
Well, let's. I cannot hold the amount of candy he's got in here.
They're
Okay. Let's keep looking. There's got to be more.
You're spilling out all your secrets, Zach.
You're guarding the rest of them, aren't you?
I've got these left over for Christmas.
Oh, there we go. They're
The
hidden.
chocolate covered cherries and chocolate covered blueberries. I've got them and I've had them since Christmas. So,
Mhm.
there you
And a
go.
whole freezer full of chocolate.
Actually, it's dwindling a little bit.
A
Wow.
little. Well, that means you're
Okay,
fucking
quite a
eating
bit.
it.
Well, yeah, that's true. But
Well, I'll tell you what I would do, like maybe 3 times a year, is I would go and buy 2 of every kind of candy bar that I like the Twix and the Kit Kats and the Crunch, Butterfinger, and then every day I would eat one.
I
And
tried that, but one's not enough.
yeah, that's the plan. I would eat one, and then the next day I'd eat 3.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Candy bars became my worst enemy when I stopped smoking cigarettes because I went from 180 pounds to 300 pounds.
Ah,
So, but I was smoking 3 packs a day when I quit.
oh, that's got to be hard.
Believe it or not, Jeremy, it wasn't near as hard as you think. I really wanted to quit. So, I was a jerk, but I love the way she's looking at me. She's going like, so that changed when?
I wouldn't have put up with the jerk. I wouldn't have done it.
Well, my dad did the same thing that you did. He quit cold turkey. He was up to 2 packs a day.
That's about what I was, wasn't I?
Yeah, you
Pack and
forgot
a
this
half.
one.
What is it?
It's actually a Milky Way. Yeah.
Here, puppy.
Oh, you're going to kill our dog?
Well, kill you or kill the dog. I don't know.
You like the dogs.
True.
So
Come on, you're fine.
yeah, but
Yeah.
the other thing that we did, Jeremy, is we want to make sure that people understand that this is a show that started with veterans. We really want to take care of all of our heroes because let's put it this way: there are so many people who go to work right now and they don't know if they're ever going to come home, and they have to put their lives in the back seat to make sure our lives get better. And hell, you look at teachers right now. Teachers, the insanity that goes on. These teachers never know if they're going to come home. And on top of that, they get
The
stuck.
amount of school shootings that we've had over the years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that and people don't allow, parents don't allow teachers to teach anymore. Our
Right.
son in Japan has told us, I can't come back to America because they won't let me teach here. And it's a sad fact, but it's true. They just, everybody's trying to come up with alternate teachings. And I'm sorry, Jeremy, ghost hunting. This is something that should be very, very apparent with ghost hunting. History happened the way it happened. You can't,
Yeah.
you can't sugarcoat it. Yeah, because I see it in the world of of having white background. Yeah, history was a little different for me than it was somebody else, but that doesn't mean that history changed. And we need to allow people to celebrate histories the way they do, but you can't change the facts on what happened in history.
Well, for me, it's not so much of celebrating certain things back there. It's remembering what happened back then. Because if you forget about history, then you're going to repeat it.
Yeah.
And there are certain things in our past that we do not need repeating.
Yeah.
There are plenty of things in our past we don't need to repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So like down, I think it was in Georgia where they were taking down these statues.
yeah.
They saw that as a celebration, and I'm thinking, no, that is there as a reminder of what happened. Just because there's a statue of somebody up, that does not necessarily mean we are remembering so we can celebrate this individual or this, that, and the other. It is to remember what that person represents.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, a lot of times in situations like that, though, Jeremy, you've got a lot of people who do celebrate the person who's idolized in that statue. You do
There,
have a lot of people who there's a lot of pain involved in that.
very true, and I'll give you a perfect example: Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people that revere the man.
Oh yeah.
Um, but one thing that I learned, I think maybe about a year ago, about not necessarily Hitler himself, but his children, they all took a vow to never have children of their own so that that bloodline could end.
Yeah, but Jeremy, Adolf didn't have any children.
That's not.
Yeah, he didn't. He did not have any children.
That's not what I read here.
It actually could have been Himmler, probably, but Himmler. I mean,
Hitler.
yeah.
Let's see here. List of family members.
Yeah. Hitler has no known biological children.
Then who did I read about that wanted to end their bloodline?
It could have been, like I said, it very well could have been Himmler. Himmler was a guy that, you know what, if Himmler would have been, if they would have succeeded in ending Hitler's life in one of these bombing things, and Himmler would have taken over, World War II very easily could have went the other way because Himmler had no problem using chemical weapons. Because of what happened to Adolf in World War I, he refused to use chemical weapons in battle. Now, he killed people with chemicals in the
Okay.
showers.
Okay, here we go. It was Hitler, but while he had no direct descendants, other members of his family did exist, with some descendants reportedly making a pact to end his bloodline.
That's the one.
Yep, it was just descendants,
Okay.
but it doesn't say nephews, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's the one that I read. I
I
don't
hope the hell they did.
right. I don't know if any are still alive or not, but I knew it was Hitler.
Yeah, you're right, Braxton. That's I mean,
Just like we were talking earlier, we were talking about the plantations there, how beautiful they are, but that doesn't change the history of them and how nasty they really are.
hey Max, Nate, can you take Max out? He's got a leaking problem, I think.
Oh,
That doesn't sound pleasant.
So, yeah, and there's a lot of thoughts that Hitler also had other issues because of his medications. So there's a lot of talk that he was impotent.
well,
So,
he had,
but he had a
other
lot of
issues.
problems anyway. The guy had the walking farts, and
It's out there that causes those problems.
Max,
That's why there are a lot of athletes
getting
out
good.
there that don't have children of their own,
yeah,
Stop it.
especially with those due to steroid abuse.
Let's go,
yeah.
Max.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it, okay? And
Let's go outside now.
look at Viagra, okay? This is a perfect example. Viagra was created as a heart medication. And it did what it did, and as a side effect. But Viagra was created as a heart medication. It was not meant to be an erectile dysfunction medication. It was originally created for your heart. So, and they realized what it did, and they're like going, hey, you know what? We're going to put it in a blue pill, and we're going to sell the hell out of this thing. Charge people $1,000 a tab, and
So Viagra started out as a side effect?
yeah, yep.
Ow.
They realized that it causes blood flow to places.
So yeah, but it was originally
I can't even imagine that.
Yep. It started out as a medication for heart disease or something like that, or blood pressure, something to that effect. But yeah, it does not. It was not built as an ED medication.
So did they find this out during the clinical trials?
I'd imagine they found it out pretty quickly.
Viagra was discovered by accident in the early 80s. Early 90s. That makes no sense. Oh, late 80s, early 90s. By Pfizer, who were studying sildenafil, whatever that is, to treat angina, heart pain, and high blood pressure. While the drug showed limited success for heart conditions, male trial volunteers reported a surprising, frequent, and unintended side effect.
I can imagine the board sitting there and they're going, "Hey, has anybody else noticed that all the scientists are walking around with their notebooks covering their?"
Wow.
They're not high school kids.
None of the scientists will come up and write on the blackboard.
This was a trial study on patients, not scientists.
I'm pretty sure some of the scientists got pretty excited when they found out what it was doing.
How in the hell did we go from talking about veteran suicide to hard-ons?
Welcome to Supernatural.
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
exactly
you're welcome.
Adrian's story is strictly on the 13th dimension. Because her story on this episode would get lost in the shuffle, and I don't want that.
And plantations.
Well, you know,
yeah.
it actually has a lot to do, I guess, with we were talking about. I was on an antidepressant when I quit smoking, and it did the opposite. It really turned. I mean, it was more of a psychotic than an antipsychotic medication, and
Warfarin, right?
Wellbutrin.
Wellbutrin.
Yeah, Wellbutrin, and it
tells you on there it can make you angry and suicidal.
And it didn't make me that word. It made me very angry. And so we had to take and change. But yeah, all I did was, you know, they put me on something else. I can't remember what it was. And
the other one.
And
that's what I was on.
The commit lozenges. I used those. By the way, those things really do taste like shit, but they did work, you know. So you never wanted to fall asleep with one in your mouth, though, because you'd wake up the next morning and that's one hell of a taste in your mouth, I'll tell you.
Wow.
Buprion. Yeah, Buprion. So there was two. There was Wellbutrin. There was another one, and if you could handle one. If you couldn't handle one, you can handle the other. But you better hope they got the right one the first time. And luckily for me, they did. But I decided I didn't give a shit.
So yeah. Anyway, Jeremy. Yeah, we got this coming up. It's the fourth year, and we're looking for people who really want to speak. All right, we want people who want to come on and tell their stories. I mean, let's be honest here. Depression is not something that's a one person thing. Okay, families are very affected by depression. You know, I started a little exercise right now. I mean, ask like to your audience, try to just in your head think of 5 people that you really, really care about. Just try to think of 5 people that you really care about. Now, imagine if one of them has something that goes on that puts them into a very, very deep depression. That affects you, doesn't it? It affects you deeply. It kind of changes the mode, the outlook on your day, your life. You try really hard to help them out.
The thing is, for me, I don't know a single person that doesn't have something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And but, I mean, what that does is it makes you a hero. If you are willing to sit there and listen to what they're saying, listen to what they're going through. And I mean, I know a lot of people hear that and they get sick and tired of hearing it. But the truth is that, you know what? Listening is the best thing to do to people. Not talking, listening. It's also very, very true that a lot of people, they're not built to be able to handle that. If you've got a lot of problems going on in your life, it's really hard to try to deal with your stuff and someone else's at the same time. But just walking away is the worst thing you can do. Trying to figure out someone else in your circle that they could talk to, someone who is able to listen to them. That's what you've got to do. You can't just let them walk away like nothing at all is happening.
Every now and then I'll send a message to somebody asking if they're okay, because I do have a couple of friends that I do worry about. Hell, without going into details, I actually had one a couple days ago where somebody messaged me about someone else, due to that person's beliefs and what other people were doing with that person. So I checked in on him. Said, hey, just ignore all this shit that people are saying to you or sending to you, because we all have our own opinions about this and that. We all have, for the most part, valid reasons for what we believe in. And for some people, when they try to send you stuff, what they intend doesn't always turn out to be the outcome.
You got
So
to think about it. If you're in a conversation with somebody, and this really goes with partners, you can be in a conversation with somebody, and you can be saying something, and they'll take it the wrong way. I mean, how many times have you been in an argument with somebody, and at the end of the day, you realized, oh my God, we were saying the same thing. We were just saying it a different way. You know, it
But with partners, you should be able to say, "What are you talking about?" or have a discussion. And if you can't do that, you need to reevaluate how you communicate.
I will. I'll bring attention to this one. In fact, I think we've actually talked about this on the air. But 3 years ago, Adrian messaged me asking me how I'm doing.
Mhm.
She It wasn't her initial thought, but someone else's initial thought that I might be considering suicide.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, brought it up to Adrian. Adrian came to me and no, not considering it. I'm worried because I think it was right around the time when I was having that second major surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and I was worried about surviving the surgery, but the thought of suicide, absolutely not. So I don't know.
Yeah, but even if someone has an inkling, and if you're close enough to someone to say, "Hey, is this a possibility? Is this what you're thinking?" You
Right.
know, if that person happened to be right and you didn't do that, that's
That
you don't, of course, push and say, "Well, I think you are," and you believe what they say, but you at least check. If you don't, and something happened, that's on you.
yeah.
The
Just,
hardest, the
my friend Sean, when he killed himself back in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
he had put a post on his profile that simply said, "I'm sorry." By the time I saw that post, he was already gone.
Yeah, yeah.
But I never put any thought into it because a lot of people put
You
stuff
see
in.
that daily. If you have 5,000 friends on your Facebook, you see that daily.
Yeah, yeah. And then later on that day, Scott Wilson called me up. Hey, Sean did this, and I immediately went to that post.
Mm-hmm.
But with the timing of everything, he did it right after that post.
Right, right. There was nothing you could have, if you would have texted when you saw it.
Yeah,
Probably
because
not.
it was a couple hours after he was already gone, so I knew there would have been absolutely nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And it is unfortunate. And that's where the 22-hour podcast also helps survivors deal. We have a lot of those on there.
yeah.
Friends that found them, friends that, feel like they could have done something, family that feel like they should have known. But there's not a way you really could have.
Survivor guilt is something that it's so serious.
Yeah.
And survivor guilt is, I mean, it's horrendous. It's
I was actually feeling that, the survivor guilt, because a few months after I got hurt, somebody in my family was dying off one a month for 6 or 7 months. And here I am thinking, how in the hell are these people dying and I'm still alive after what I just went through?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I kind of get that survivor guilt a little bit, even though it wasn't directly tied into this. But when you were talking about other heroes, not necessarily veterans, my first thought were the people in New York City,
Yeah. Yeah.
the policemen and the firemen,
yeah,
uh, the EMTs.
yeah.
Just think about how their lives were after all of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's think about like now. I saw a post today, same Grilly page, that was like, how are how are these cops getting away with, they're giving tickets and they're getting away with having their cars running, but they're giving tickets for warming up your vehicle. Okay, that's controversial. Whatever.
What?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can get a ticket for warming up your vehicle
Yep.
because there's idling law, and if you don't have a automatic start, you can get a ticket in almost every state for warming up your vehicle. Well, but
So Rabbit.
so many things about cops, like, everybody is on them, on them, on them. And yes, I understand it's because it's the state of this world right now. But we had a cop today. I was looking out my office window and there's this cop walking up, and I'm thinking animal control because I couldn't see her. And I didn't know he was gone at the time or I would have panicked. But, animal control. I'm thinking, who has my dog bit now? Are they out? Are they gone? What is going on? So, I immediately go on break, run downstairs, answer the door, and this beautiful young female cop was
Keep
standing
going.
at the door.
Be right back.
All right. She's standing at the door with my mother-in-law's purse in her hand. And the first thing I think, this woman could not have been on duty an hour because she smells like perfume. And I'm like, what is going on? She goes, are you Lola? I'm like, no.
God no.
But what's going on? That's my mother-in-law. And she says, well, we found this purse. I'm like, where'd you find it? On the road in front of us? Right here? No, at the 7-Eleven on 10th Street. What? Okay. I said, yeah, that's my mother-in-law's purse. She said, what's your name? What's your relationship to her? Didn't ask for my ID. Asked for my phone number. I'm like, yeah, okay. But that woman did not have to come here and do that. She could have taken it to the police station, never made that detour here. She could have just went to the police station and wait for someone to call and claim it. But that's not what she did. She came here to return that purse and was very honest. She said, 7-Eleven turned it in. I don't know, really where it was found, but I don't know if anything's missing. I just found her ID, and so I'm here. A lot of police officers aren't going to do that anymore because they are so hated. They're just going to take it to the police station and wait for somebody to come get it. But she took that extra mile, and I'm going to tell you, this girl was maybe 4'8". I mean, this girl was tiny. And did not care. She was by herself.
I caught a rash, and recently, because I was talking about, because we included law enforcement in this deal, and with everything that's going on, people are sitting there and people are a little testy about law enforcement right now. But here's the truth, okay? And everybody needs to understand this. There are bad people out there. There are terrible cops. There are cops that belong in prison. That's just it. You ask other cops, they're going to tell you that there's cops that belong in prison. It's not groups that do things. It's individuals that do things.
That's like, saying, why do I have dog hair all up in my face? That's like saying white people all do this. Black people all do this. Asians all do this. No, the fuck we don't. No, that is not how this works. All whites are racist. No, the fuck we're not. And all black people are thugs. No, the fuck they're not. All Asians are all smart. No, the fuck they're not. Let's get rid of the stereotypes and treat people as individual people.
That's what a lot of people have a hard time doing, because they go with that stereotype and the perception. And for many people out there, perception is reality.
Yeah. And Braxton, there is. Okay, so I'm going to say this was a few years ago. Let's talk about 5 years after Katrina. A few years ago.
I'm
Y'all
gonna
are going to stop.
I got to make a phone call.
All right. So, about 5 years after Katrina, you can gauge that year. We dealt with a lot of police officers there, and there were some that were just as prejudiced as the people that lived there. One guy stuck out. One guy. He was a preacher. Don't know what denomination. Have no idea. I remember his face. And he was telling me, he said, okay, you're about to go in the 9th Ward. No cop's going to help you in the 9th Ward. And one, you're going in there as government representatives. That's not going to be good. Number two, you're going in there as white. That's not going to be good. I was like, okay. He said, so you go in with me and don't, we had guns on us. We had them all out where anybody could see them. He said, put them away. Don't show them. Come in with me. I was like, okay. And for some reason, I trusted this guy. He was awesome. And as long as we were with him, we were safe. But, it's, they expect that, nobody looks at the background. We're not government. We were there to take down the FEMA trailers. Yes, we were employed by the government, but we're not the government. We were not the ones that said, okay, we're taking them down now. So yeah, that was a huge thing there. And I'm glad I went through it, because a lot of white people don't understand the prejudice unless you've been there. And most white people, they're not going to be there. There's no reason for you to be there unless you go into something like that. And I think everybody should.
Yeah. Look, the truth is that once again, everyone has the potential to be good. Everyone has the potential to be awful. And
depends on what's dangled in front of you and what you're willing to give for it.
I respect the hell out of law enforcement, most law enforcement that, has gone through the regular training, gone through the schools, gone through all that stuff. And they got to go out every day knowing that they're hated. I mean, that's
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't.
It's got to be, it's got to be something to go, oh my God, who's going to yell at me today? and
I couldn't.
that would be tough. But what's amazing is you look that a lot of these cops will come out and they'll talk to the kids, and they're trying to make a difference when it comes to kids, and they'll help the older people. I've seen so many stories doing a lot of uh, uh, studying for this show of officers that will buy bags of groceries for
Mhm.
families that are suffering right now.
And they're not
You know-
making great money.
Yeah, absolutely not. But they're out there. They're not out there to try to change your mind. They're out there because there are good people. There are bad people. Again, but we just really look, saying that we need to turn down the temperature right now is, there's probably more. It's probably easy to spit in a brisk wind and not get hit in the face with your spit than it is to turn the temperature down right now.
Well, you toned that down a lot, didn't you?
But the truth is, we've got to do it. We have got to start, figuring out that, other people are in our lives for a reason. And that reason is we need them. Families being ripped apart because they're different religions or they've got different political beliefs or stuff like that. It's ridiculous. It truly is. Adrian knows that about 1 year ago, right now, I lost one of the favorite men in my life. He was absolutely, I still miss him every day. He was my uncle. And he and I couldn't be any further apart when it comes political. But I had no problem every night that I talked to this man, giving him a hug, telling him I loved him, and we always walked away knowing that we loved each other. Because it's stupid to fight over some of this stuff. And when he died, he's a Vietnam vet, and he died from cancer.
What is that reverb?
I don't know. It was when Jeremy came back in, but he died from the after effects of Agent Orange from Vietnam War, and he died last year. And it's still
He died of liver cancer.
It tears me up every day. But there is no reason why we cannot talk to people in our lives.
Yep.
If you have different agreement, or if you have different views on something, don't talk about that thing. Talk about something that you agree with. I mean, let's be honest here. Talking to somebody, I live in Colorado. I cannot stand the Denver Broncos. It is what it is. I have a lot of heated discussions on the Denver Broncos, but this is it's just, we can have fun together and we can stop fighting with everyone if we just, I love this person. We're not going to talk about this. We're going to change the subject. We're going to talk about something else. We've got to start bringing people together. Yep, absolutely. Alcohol can be a great time until it's not. And I've had a lot of fun drinking in my days, but then I had a lot of not fun drinking in my days. So
apparently the city of New Haven is out of water.
Out of water.
Yeah.
Maybe they should recycle the snow.
That'd be, yeah. We don't know what's going on, but water is out citywide. My water is just barely running. That I called my dad. That's why I got off here. His water is just barely running. There's a thing on the the New Haven page saying that City Utilities is already working on it. So
Well, that's good.
yeah, how does the entire city run out of water?
The water tower froze. I don't know.
And yeah,
You know, the
water
last time.
lines or the water treatment plant, something goes down, like a filter goes down, they can't contaminate the water.
The last time that happened, it
Wayne,
was
our water is coming from Fort Wayne.
yeah. The last time that happened, anywhere I heard about, it was a intentional contamination. It was a breach. Somebody had hacked the system, and it was no longer being filtered correctly.
Oh boy.
I have no idea what I would do without water.
I don't either, because they sure can't make your fucking Pepsi without it.
Yeah, there might be oh boy, there'll be a lot of people running out to Walmart and all the stores and buying them out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
You don't drink a drop of water. I don't know what the hell he's thinking.
yeah.
I do too drink a drop of water. I think I drank a glass like a week and a half ago when I had the hiccups.
Of real water?
Yeah, real water.
Oh,
You
so
need that real water every day. It's good for your kidneys.
yeah, right. And Mr. Kidney Stone here, who's about to have a fucking baby out of that kidney stone, because it has been in there over a year at this point. Yeah, it's the size of a damn baby.
Wow.
Yeah, Braxton, we just had our city. They went through and they did some work on all of our like underground water pipes. And my little brother, he is a rooter, and he owns his own company. And he and I were talking because we noticed one day we went and turned on the kitchen water, and all of a sudden there was like pressure. Okay, I mean like actual water pressure. Went to go take a shower, there was actual water pressure. We didn't know what the hell was going on. But they went and they changed out a lot of these water pipes and got some of the newer water pipes in there. It was blowing people's hot water heaters, businesses' hot water heaters. They couldn't keep up with the water flow that was coming through.
The PSI was too much for what they had.
Yeah. So, and because, you know, it's amazing it actually lasted in this house because our home is so old, you know. But then again, we also did have Isaac who, you know, he's a rooter. So when he was here, he kind of took care of some of that stuff. So
Yeah, they would have dug up our sidewalks had he not replaced those lines from whatever they were to, I don't know, plastic, PVC, whatever they had to change them to upgrade. Yeah. I think home ownership may not be near as fun as we think it is.
Yeah, there's way more responsibilities involved than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah, there is.
hell of a lot better than renting a trailer.
No, it's not, because then it's somebody else's fucking problem.
Well,
Hey, the water's out. Hey, the hot water broke. Hey. Yeah.
oh,
No.
you mean the guy that when we had a leak in our roof, they brought us buckets? That's how they fixed it.
Are
Then
you
he put
serious?
Then he bought us then he took and put a tarp up top. Let me know if it leaks through this.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry if it minus 96. That's just dumb. That's just dumb.
What is?
Minus 96. No, that's just look. I'm sorry. When you stop having less than temperature, it's dumb. You shouldn't be there. So I couldn't imagine what Nick goes through. I was a truck driver, and living here in Colorado, 40 degrees is shorts weather. It is. 40 degrees is very comfortable. Short sleeve shorts, not a problem. I was driving truck, and I was just south of Chicago, and I see on the bank sign when I pulled in to fuel up. I saw that it said 42 degrees, and I was like, going, okay, great. I drove in my shorts and short sleeves, so I got out of my truck, walked around the truck, got back in, went to the sleeper berth, and got dressed for winter. I walked into that store to pay for my fuel, and I told the little girl behind the counter their 42 degrees is fucking broken, because I don't know what the hell happened there, but you guys is 42 degrees in your side of the world, Jeremy. It's broken. You guys need to fix that.
42 degrees is fucking cold.
No, it's not.
It is.
Braxton, just so that you know, it is Z-A-K.
Yeah, so you got it wrong both times anyway.
Oh, poor baby.
See, my parents knew I was going to be an idiot, so they only gave me the 3 letters to spell.
Okay, no, don't let him tell you this bullshit. Number one, for 18 years, 16 years of his life, he spelled his name Z-A-C-H-A-R-Y. So did I. Now, we lost contact at that point. I come back, and his name is Z-A-C-H-A-R-I-E. Okay? Because, here's why. The doctor that birthed him was a fucking vet. Veterinarian. Not vet. Veterinarian. So, that's one thing. And then, I don't know if his mom was high on maybe too many pain meds when she birthed him,
Or just high.
or was not able to spell his name correctly. The doctor wasn't, because he was a vet. I don't know. But on his birth certificate is Z-A-C-H-A-R-I-E. His mom intended it to be R-Y. All through school, it was R-Y on all documents. He did not realize this was incorrect until he went to go get his driver's license and had to have his birth certificate. So he had to relearn to spell his name at 16 years old. So don't tell me.
I'll tell you what's kind of fun, Jeremy. There's nothing like walking into a driver's license place and them telling you, I'm sorry, I am not giving you a driver's license. You don't even know how to spell your own name. And you're like, what are you talking about?
Mind you, at school, he didn't go by Zach. It was Zachary.
What the was wrong with me? God, I can't stand it now.
I had
I don't know what you did to that name when you were younger, that's your fault.
I had no idea we would go off on a tangent about the spelling of somebody's name.
Well, who would think that you wouldn't know how to spell your own name until you got your driver's license?
I don't know.
It is funny, my signature still has the Y on the end of it. After all these years, after 40 years almost, I never changed my signature. It's still got the Y on the end of it.
Well, when you learn to sign it, it's hard to change it to something else.
Yeah.
He's been alive a lot longer past that than he was before that.
Ow. Okay. Okay, so the mayor of New Haven posted, City Utilities is aware of water issue and working on it. Please do not call 911 to report water outage. Okay, well, I don't know why anybody would think to call 911, but...
Because they wanted a drink of water and there wasn't any, so they don't know any other number.
Well, like you said, go out there and get some snow.
As long as it's not yellow, all ours is.
Well, this is really the time, though, Jeremy, that you know what, you need to watch out for your neighbors, and make sure that you're not doing anything, that could be dangerous. We know that the temperatures right now, okay, there are a lot of people who do things just because they feel it's necessary to keep themselves alive. And people will do silly stuff like like lighting their stoves and heating their house with their stoves. And I've done that before, you know, I didn't realize how dangerous it was. But I mean, there are so many people who do things like that, and with the lack of water, that could be deadly right now, you know. And there's where our heroes really come into effect, because imagine what the firefighters are thinking of themselves right now.
Oh,
If they walk up to a hydrant, they could be screwed.
they could be, yeah. Because back in the day, they used to have their own tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Braxton. You know, I mean, imagine the emergency rooms right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Is it a full moon? Is it a full moon?
Uh, I can check. I don't even
If
have
it
to.
is, emergency rooms are fucked. I
Okay.
don't think it is, but if it is, I need to get my crystals out.
Oh, wait. No, it's not, because we had a very thin moon just a couple nights ago. Yeah, we had a very thin moon, so it's not. So it's really going more towards a full.
No, we're in a waxing gibbous tonight, so we're good.
Yeah, it's going into a new moon instead of a full moon.
So new moon, time to get rid of shit.
Yeah.
Manifest good stuff.
hey Jeremy, you mind if I share that with everyone real quick?
Go ahead.
Guys, right there is the QR code that you can take and scan right now. And that QR code is going to take you to a form that you can tell us that you want to participate in the mission for Healthy Heroes. Just scan it. There's many ways that you can help us out. You can volunteer to come on and help us share on social media. Look, 22 hours, you would think I would have my shit together, but quite honestly, there's times that, you know, you get pretty busy and it's kind of hard, you forget things. So I definitely need volunteers. If you run a business and you would like to donate, we need help, because we're raising money for something called the Come Together Compass, and this is a program that is going to be, honestly, I think it's going to be the most important program ever, because it's going to offer support to people who need support everywhere in the world. You know, it's going to be a place where people can go in times of dire need, and they can find rental assistance. They can communicate with other people in their communities, and they can find the food if, you know, they're hungry. If somebody's getting out of an abusive relationship, they can communicate with their neighbors, and they can find you know, furniture and stuff like that. So, you know, it's also going to have an AI component to it, to where if somebody is going through some of these things that we've been talking about, these mental strife and everything that they're going through, it's going to help them go through like some breathing exercise, or it's going to prompt them to journal or walk them through some yoga. It's gonna do things that are going to help them, as the compass is also trying to find people to help them. This is something that we're working on, and your donations, your participation could help us get this program working. We have some wonderful students at Arizona State University that's helping us put this together, I think. but but I mean, these kids are helping me do this, and this is going to be something where people can go and find help for free, and we really need your help with this. So if you have a story, if you just want to come on and say, you know what, thank you, thank you to the heroes in my city, thank you so very much, or you have a specific hero you want to come on and shout out, maybe your grandpa, maybe your father, whoever. Come on and shout them out. come on and come and join us and make our heroes know that we're here for them. They walk in paths of darkness so often because they don't feel like they're human at times. They're, a lot of the things that they're under, they can't talk to a normal person about because we don't understand everything they go through. It's hard for us to understand what they go through. I mean, Jeremy, an EMT, a technician. Could you imagine what they have to go through if they come upon somebody that they know that was in an accident?
If it was somebody they know, I
Or
can't imagine, but I do know that they see strangers all the time. Um, so for them, I would imagine it would be kind of easy to almost be desensitized.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as it's somebody they know, that all flips.
2 years ago, I had an EMT who came on, and he was talking about one of the scenes that he had to go to. And this scene was his daughter's best friend, and she was gone.
Wow.
And he had to go and face his daughter while his daughter was going through that emotional low. And he had to sit there and face his daughter and tell his daughter that there was nothing that they could do. You know, see, these are things that a lot of times we don't think about when you know, when we're sitting there and we're yelling at people, we don't think about what they go through a lot of times.
No.
No, we don't think about it at all, obviously.
But that is unfortunately a part of human nature.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is the easiest thing in the world for us to be completely selfish.
Yep. It is.
And and unfortunately that's how it goes. That's how it is. It's um,
Yeah, Braxton, one year we did a Thanksgiving dinner for people who were homeless. Unfortunately, it was 24 below zero on that day.
oh
The homeless weren't going to come out. But what we ended up doing was we took and wrapped everything up and we took it to the homeless shelters and gave them, I think it was like 5 turkeys and stuffing and green beans. And we had wonderful restaurants like Chili's that helped us out with certain things, and Applebee's, and the Tilted Kilt cooked all the turkeys for us. And, we had a great community that got behind us. And the LaSalle Fire Department they allowed us to use their garage to take and do this event in. And yeah, it was a cold day. And but I love that your mom does stuff like that. So
You say?
that she makes food and takes it to people. Yeah, psychiatrists and coaches, that's somebody else that we've got in this that we really support. Caregivers. Caregivers are in a terrible, terrible shape right now because we put so much emphasis on what they do wrong. And, we kind of forget when that, well, what are we doing wrong? So, what could we do to help them? And I think that's what we really want to do, Jeremy. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but we really want to have people just kind of stop and think, okay, things are kind of goofy right now, but what can I do to help make it a little bit better? Next time you get stopped, don't instantly sit there and get defensive. I mean, I remember getting pulled over 4 times before I got my back patch with the VFW Warriors, and because they were just doing a patch check. Of course, the cop always used some other reason why they stopped me, but one of the times,
Check.
yeah, for the VF, yeah, my back patch on my vest when I was on my bike.
Oh,
So, but one of the times was the funniest because I had stopped to make a payment on my truck, and the officer stopped me, and I knew what was going on. Like I said, it was the third time in a week that I had been stopped, so I knew exactly what was going on. And I asked the officer to go on ahead, give me the story, what's going on, why did you stop me? And I did the air quotes too. Why did you stop me? And he looked at me and he goes, "Oh well, we've had a lot of auto theft in this area." And I looked at him and I'm on my fat boy and I looked up at him and I said, "I don't think even a Volkswagen could fit in my saddlebags, sir."
No, you would have left
And
that bike because it was stolen and taken the car.
I would not have given up my bike for any car.
But he don't know that.
Yeah. But but yeah, I looked at it and of course he laughed because I wasn't being a dork, a knob about it. I was just, I was trying to make him laugh and understand that, you know what, I don't care. Do a patch check. It is what it is. He saw it was with the VFW Warriors and it was all good. I'm not trying to be a 1%er. I don't dedicate my life to anything like that except for my family. So,
wow.
but I mean, truthfully, we just need to figure out what we can do to make things better because we have the power to make things better. We've just got to come up with ways to do it. And if you have a suggestion, scan that QR code, come on and talk about it.
Stop. We got to end this shit because your dog is assaulting me.
I thought she doesn't bite anymore.
She don't. She claws me.
This
Oh boy.
baby, I'm telling you, baby girl is a camera hog. She is my co-star on all of my podcasts. Every time I'm on a podcast, that damn dog pops up.
No, she is freaking out because she's not center of attention right at this moment, and she is clawing the shit out of me.
Well, her and Ghost hijack her screen an awful lot on this show.
Yeah, he's on the floor right now because I have this funny little device, and if I point it at him, he will hide in the bathroom for hours.
Oh my.
It's just a sensor that a frequency they can only hear, and it stops fights. And barking. Yeah.
I never thought about bringing my dog whistles with me when I come over.
Yeah, I don't know if dog whistles would work. I haven't tried that. I might have to try it, but I know this device works.
Well, I still have all 10 of those that you got me.
Yeah, I've got 3 of them.
Yeah. Because the 10 that you gave me are hanging on a nail in the tech closet.
Well, we have a little a witch group here in Greeley, and one of the ladies came over last weekend, and she's also a investigator, and she was like, "We need to do a class together." I suggested we do a class together on ghost hunting, and I said, "Okay. If we do a class together, I'm going to talk about what not to do. And I'm going to talk about what's fake. And I'm going to talk about bringing yourself and leave the equipment the fuck at home." And she come to bring me this little box, right, of all of her equipment, which was awesome. I mean, she spent a lot of money on it. It was like, the ghost, what was that? Ghost stop equipment. and the bell, the little like a service bell. It was one of those equipped for this and different things, and I'm like, okay. Now, mind you, this woman has all the power she needs without any bit of it. I'm like, okay, nice equipment. I love it. I gave her my grid light and said, use it as long as you like. But if I'm going to put on a class, it's not going to be about equipment. I'll tell you how to use it, and I'll tell you how it goes wrong. But that's about as far as I'm going to go with that portion.
I'm sorry, my mind is focused on this water thing. It's like the entire town is panicking right now.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Do you have bottled water?
No.
Okay, so what you're going to want to go to is get some water in the containers. Before it all goes to shit.
Got a container. I've got a gallon of water at all times in my fridge.
Mm-hmm.
When I called Dad, he was going to do that. He was going to run the water out of his bathtub.
Yep.
I'll probably end up doing that myself.
Yeah, it's probably best.
The only thing I'd be worried about is, okay, what if and when we have to go to the bathroom?
Well, that's where hopefully you save enough water to dump it in the back of the toilet.
Right. Well, right now the water is just running really low for us, so the tank will fill up. It's just gonna take a minute.
You're a guy.
Huh?
You're a guy. Piss in a bottle, put it in the trash can. It don't matter. Girls cannot do that. Leave the water for the women.
Why would I piss in a bowl?
A bottle.
Why would I do that?
So you can throw it away.
Tree.
Yeah, I can go outside.
Yeah, but you live in the city. You don't want to do it outside.
No, I don't live in the city.
Well, you live close enough that other people are pointing cameras at other people's yards.
That's when you just go out and you look like you're pointing at something else and you're, doing your thing.
Well, what's nice about where I'm at is I'm sort of like in a secluded area. I'm like halfway between city and country. Mm-hmm. So there's nobody behind me. I have neighbors on both sides, but there's woods behind us and then a creek, then more woods, and then the houses for the next street over, which is actually sort of like a main road.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about peeing. All you got to worry about is pooping. You're good.
I don't think I'll have to worry about that tonight.
Nah. Hopefully they'll have it fixed by morning.
Well, we'll see, because they got to figure out what the problem is and where the problem is.
Well, I'm sure they know. They're just not talking about it.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but I can see neighborhoods being out of water, but this is the entire city.
Mm-hmm.
That's a concern.
Yeah.
And being that our water is coming from Fort Wayne, that's an even bigger concern.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. All right, what do you say we call it tonight? It's already 10:30.
Sounds like an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy, I'll let you guys close this out. But again, just please, please, please share. All we ask for the 22-hour podcast is, you know what, we're going to sit here for 22 hours. We
No,
ask you
you
for
are.
we ask you for 22 minutes. We ask you for 22 shares. We ask you for, you don't have to sit there with me for 22 hours. It's a monster of a job. But 22 minutes to come on and see what we've got going on. 22 minutes to see if, you hear something that could possibly help you. But most importantly, share this with 22 people who you think might have something that they can share with us, or especially somebody who you think this might help. That's all we ask. So scan the QR code above and come on, get in, and let's have some fun and let's help some people out.
How
So
are you doing on filling up your slots?
what's that?
How are you doing on filling up your slots?
We're going okay, but we need more.
Yeah.
So we've got I ended up talking to about just messaging like 16 different vets today that are wanting to get involved. So, but we're asking people to come on for 20-minute segments. So, we've still got time. And if you go onto that QR code, you can schedule your segment right then and there. So there's a place that you can either schedule to record with me because it is a Sunday, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but you can schedule to record with me or you can schedule yourself to come on live.
Because I know that we have a 2-hour block Sunday night
Yep.
because we will have Lynn with us.
Yep.
And
We'll
then
have Lynn with us too. One of the hours.
that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, Jan and I will.
Yeah. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, he and the guys are coming on earlier in the morning, and then you and Jan and Lynn is going to join you, and you guys are going to take over later on that night.
Just let me know. You need to tell me when, because
7 o'clock.
it remind me again that
So
day.
9 o'clock East.
You should probably write out the schedule and
It's already written out. I'm just waiting for other people to take, and I'd like to get it a little more filled out before I start sending it out. But
Hi.
okay.
working on it as we go, man. Working on it as we go.
And we're
So-
going to have his brother here while this is going on, which is going to be really fun because I went to school with this kid from like grade school all the way up, and we were not friends. So now that we're adults, we're okay. But yeah, he's going to have him here from, where does he live?
Idaho.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to be entertaining company as well. That should be interesting.
Well,
Let me rephrase that. I'll be entertaining company while he is doing this because I'd rather he do this than I can entertain company and then go to fuck to bed. Because
It's actually kind of funny. I'd rather you entertain the company and me do this too. So, but thank you, everyone.
well, in the spirit of saying goodbye or saying goodnight, um, don't forget tomorrow on 13th Dimension, I will have Adrian on the show, and we're going to be going through the true story of the Catman, or whatever you want to call him.
that works for me. Cat couple, actually.
No.
There was a couple.
Cat couple, and also finding out the truth behind haunted hospitals if we have time.
If you're a fan of that show and don't want to hear anything true, don't.
Yeah. I say the truth is a lot better than the entertainment.
It is, and I honestly believe that. And we will go into that tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, which will be 5 o'clock Adrian's time. Braxton, 6 o'clock for you, 4 o'clock for Jill. And anybody else out there can figure it out from there because I'm not going to go beyond that. So meanwhile, everybody out there, thank you so much for playing along with us tonight. Thank you to Zach for being on to talk to us about the 22-hour marathon. I will also have Zach on 13th Dimension Friday the 20th, 2 days before the event, to do a final plug on the marathon. Hopefully he will be more than prepared for that one.
He will be.
Yeah. So until next week, I know, with all the snow that a whole lot of people out there got, be safe. Try to stay off the roads if you can. Stay warm. I know it's cold out there. It's 9 degrees for me right now.
Oh, wait, whoa, 9 degrees. Do I live in Colorado or do you?
It's 9 degrees here.
33. I will take where I'm at.
Oh, shit. You're above freezing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it's been 50s in the day. We're good.
Yeah, you definitely are. It's unusual for you guys.
Yeah.
Because you get that mountain weather.
But we're at the foothills, so we kind of bypass a lot of it.
Yeah, you're lucky.
I'll take it.
All right, so until next week, please join us tomorrow night, and we will see you next time. Have a good night, everybody.